Well. It's almost time for Wrestlepalooza up in this bitch. And the problem with Wrestlepalooza is that obviously the main event is going to be Cena versus good old Brock Lesnar. Now, Wrestlepalooza is only in like 10 days or some shit like that, right? Which means we've got an episode of Raw and one of SmackDown to worry about. And the build-up has basically been zero. The big in-ring return of Brock Lesnar, and more importantly, the fact that he'll be wrestling Big Match John himself, which is one of the biggest matches in the last like 15, 20 years of this shit company. This match is being treated like an afterthought, despite the fact that WWE has 4 hours at least of mainstream like TV every week, and it's been like a month. I think SummerSlam is when the cocksucker came back, right? During this time, absolutely nothing has happened. We just know that Cena's back, he's doing other shit, and Lesnar is looming in the background, waiting to beat him for no reason. We don't know shit about this as far as I'm concerned. Now, it's possible that they elaborated on this on Friday Night SmackDown that I didn't watch, but I did read the results. I didn't see anything about this. So insofar as this build-up goes, it's got to be up there as one of the worst built main events of all time. And this is especially egregious considering that it is one of the biggest main events of all time, right? It's not like, for example, it's a throwaway pay-per-view. It's like Muhammad Hassan versus The Undertaker, or like Mr. Kennedy versus Batista. Like, nobody gives a shit. You don't have to build it up at all. Fuck them both, right? This is a big deal. Even if it's just the return of Brock Lesnar, it's a big deal. You want people to be hyped. Now, what could they have done? A lot of things. Number one, I would have liked to see some sort of promo off between Lesnar and Cena. I believe personally that Lesnar is very underrated on the mic, but I understand that he probably doesn't feel that comfortable talking, and quite frankly, he doesn't want to do it, right? And Brock Lesnar is the kind of guy, as I understand him at least, that if he doesn't want to do something, he's not doing something, motherfuckers. He's going to piss right down your throat and say, I'm Brock Lesnar. You do what I say. I don't do what you say. I'm Brock Lesnar. You heard? So with that being said, I believe that's what happened. Cena couldn't carry this on his own because you at the very least need Brock Lesnar, right? But I believe that the biggest problem here, once again, centers on dipshit moron Triple H and everyone else in that writer's room. The same idiots that brought you Travis Scott now bring you this. The fact is, they don't know why Brock Lesnar attacked John Cena. Nobody knows. It makes no sense. Lesnar came back and attacked him. We're not even going to get an explanation. We've already set up the match. Guy 1 attacked Guy 2. What the fuck? Why did he do it? Explain to me why he did it. Now, another thing. Why did he do it only 2 times? Either he has some sort of gripe with Cena, which would then indicate that number 1, he should have come back a while ago. And number 2, he should be attacking him mercilessly time and time again. And number 3, that like the beatings should be more severe. He just comes in, does the F5, and then that's it. Now, could it be that Brock Lesnar attacked Cena for the attention? That doesn't make much sense, right? It seems more likely that if Lesnar wanted the attention, he'd go after Cucky. But he didn't go after Cucky. He went after Big Match John himself. Now, with all this being said, the only thing that's left to ponder is just Brock Lesnar hates Cena for no reason, right? He just hates him. They have a rivalry. Fine, you can just hang your hat on that, on that low-hanging fruit, if we're being honest, and make it like a rivalry match, right? At the very least, you still need a reason of why you rehash the rivalry again. Like, Lesnar has been around. You know what I mean? Like, after he came back and he had the rivalry with Cena like 10, 15 years ago, whatever the fuck it was, he kept sticking around and he kept continuing to wrestle, right? He had rivalries, he main event at WrestleManias. And he was never after Big Match John. So that being said, it's like, what the fuck's happening here, you know? What I think is happening is another form of WWE, like it's a mixture of laziness and stupidity, right? Number one, it's stupid because it doesn't make any sense, like I just said. But it's also lazy because, quite frankly, they don't expect anyone to ask any questions. They just expect people to tune in, to get ESPN Plus and to go and watch this match, irrespective of what is actually happening in the show, right? The idea is just like, yo, you got Cena, you got Lesnar. That should be enough. Well, it's not enough, motherfucks. I need the story to make sense. At that point, it's just a big match. Even when they have a Rusev fight Sheamus, they give you like a 3-minute backstage interaction where he's like, I'm number one, and then they fight, right? It could just be that. It could just be like brothers are coming out being like, I'm here to dominate. That's all he has to say. I'm here to dominate. And Cena says, you come after me, Brock. You come after me, Jack. Come after me on my retirement tour, Cenation. You know, you can just do that, and at least we have something. Now, it's just like Cena is fighting a guy that attacked him twice. That's it. That's the main event. This is not the third match in the card. This is the main event. How about treat it like a main event? Cucksties. Give us something where we get to enjoy ourselves and we get to see things that are interesting and fun for us. If you don't want to do this, then in my opinion, people shouldn't tune in. Now, I've already made this point. I've already said that we don't, like, the hater, according to the hater, nobody should be tuning into this shit at all. But what are you going to do? The hater knows that people are going to tune in. The hater knows that, like, because it's Cena and Lesnar, they're going to do it. But think about it for a second. Think about how little WWE has to do to get your money. They don't even have to try at this point. At this point, it's like that episode of South Park where like the manatees are writing all the Family Guy jokes and they just pick random balls with words like adjectives and verbs and nouns and they just put it together and that's the joke, right? Same thing. They're out there, they got a big ball, probably a bunch of manatees, you know, and like they just pick names. They're like, okay, Cena, Lesnar, let's do it. That's lazy. And quite frankly, in my opinion, the only thing that's been interesting for the last calendar year has been John Cena's retirement run. Even though they worked hard to fuck this up. Like, and I get it. Maybe they're insecure. You know, I think I would be too. If I were Triple H and those other four morons that they kept showing in WWE Unreal, like Bruce Pritchard and the other guy, and then like somehow, you know, fucking Travis Scott was involved too in the creative decision of The Rock. Maybe he's involved in this too. If I were those guys, I mean, like, you know, you got to take the L, right? They're out there. They thought they did this great thing with Cena's heel turn. It was one of the worst heel turns of all time. I think it was the worst heel turn of all time, and especially considering the face turn that followed. But nevertheless, they did that. That was a colossal disaster. So now I get it. Now it's like, all right, we fucked this shit up big time, and now what are we gonna do? Well, we can't do anything because we fucked it up big time, right? So it's like, now we're insecure. Now we don't want to do anything else. You know? Like, the match is going to have to carry this shit. The writer's room is derelict. They don't do anything. And when they do something, they come up with the Cena heel turn. One of the worst things imaginable. You know, like the hater was right about this from day one. You know that Cena's going to look back at this as the colossal mistake that it clearly is. I think they fucked him, quite frankly. Not on purpose necessarily, but they fucked him. Now, with this being said, the question then has to naturally become, how many more fuck-ups are to be tolerated under Triple H? It is unbelievable. Like, you can think of all the things that have happened. Everything has been shit. The Goldberg situation, where they cut off Goldberg's mic, because nobody knows how to fucking manage time in this world, apparently, other than Vince McMahon. They show, like, Abyss in the background in fucking WWE Unreal. The match is going over like 6 minutes over. Abyss is like, I'm so sorry, Bruce Pritchard. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, who the fuck acts this way? Abyss should just chokeslam this motherfucker. I'm so sorry, man. It's like, are you even happy at your job? Which for many would be a dream job? Come on, man. Be happy and be reasonable. Do shit well. Things will flow well if people focus. But nobody seems to want to go to work anymore. It's like John Cena and Brock Lesnar are main eventing a meaningless match in 2025. No new stars on the horizon. No person out there that has any kind of semblance of credibility, right? People want to talk about Obafemi and Trick Williams and even Braun Breaker, honestly. It's like, you look at them, you look at Brock Lesnar, and you're like, this is not even like the same category of human at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even close. They're like, Obafemi reminds me of Brock Lesnar. No, he doesn't. He's a fat fuck. Brock Lesnar doesn't have 1 ounce of fat on him. Oh, but he's a fat bastard. Like, oh, he reminds me of Brock Lesnar. And I'm going to do a video on that again, by the way. But anyways, that's the point, motherfuckers. This has been a complete disaster. The Triple H era is a complete failure. And quite frankly, we're going to keep making videos about this, pointing out, not calling out, but pointing out every single instance of stupidity that we have seen and we have grown to become accustomed to at this point, right? Like, we're going to have to tolerate WrestlePalooza, for better or for worse. The match might be like a 10-star match. I don't care. I need to know why they're fighting, because if I know why they're fighting, then I have something to look forward to. And then also, I have the ability afterwards to ask myself, okay, where do they go from here? I mean, Cena can't really afford to, like, do the Cena thing. Like, Cena's probably going to win. Because if Cena loses, then Cena has to do the whole, like, I need like 3 months to recover, Jack. You know, but he doesn't have 3 months to recover. He only has, like, 3 more months of a career left, you know? So, that being said, we need to do something about it. Not even. It's like, what? Like, from September to October is 1 month. November, 2 months. 3 months, yeah. 3 months, almost exactly, I think, actually. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, we'll see how all this shit goes. But, I mean, I think the situation speaks for itself, right? Nobody gives a shit about this. Like, we don't care about WrestlePalooza, I don't think, but neither does anyone else. Like, nobody gives a shit about this. This is like, if WWE wasn't as big as it is, and if the thought of them going out of business wasn't so unfathomable, you would think they're going out of business, right? Because this shit, even, like, they're trying to make money, and they're succeeding at that, don't get me wrong, but just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you're doing well, right? I'll give you a quick example. Brazil has the potential to become the #1 economy in the world easily, right? Easily, if they decide to destroy the Amazon rainforest, right? But then what? Then they're fucked. Then we're fucked. The Amazon creates like 80% of the world's oxygen or some shit like that. They can't afford to do it, so they don't do it. WWE is now cutting their Amazon, basically. This is it. Hey, we're on the last stage, motherfuckers. There's nothing else. After Lesnar and Cena, there's nobody else. Cocky's gonna be like doing the Lesnar schedule, you know? And quite frankly, he's not a big enough star. And everybody else, like Seth Rollins, this guy ain't drawing more than 1 million people ever. He can't even sell out a flea market. That's what Hogan once said. But anyways, take that for what it is, cucks, and go fuck yourselves.